Hello, everyone. It's your girl Nicole McIntosh here. Someone told me that they like when I introduce my videos like that, but I told them that I will continue to say that as long as I can get away with it. So yes, it's your girl Nicole McIntosh here, and it's strange that I will be checking in twice in a week, but it has been eventful, and there's been a lot to process. So I am back. I won't be here for very long, but I won't be here for very long. But yeah, I'm just touching base. Hello, Tamia. How are you? Good. I'll see you later. So yes, we're enjoying the sunshine. Vitamin D seekers continuing to enjoy this home life because you have to make the best out of your situation, and it's not what we signed up for, but it is what we have. So I'm here with my glass of wine today. It's Sunday. I'm allowed. In fact, I'm allowed every day, according to my dad, but we won't get into that. So yeah, I really wanted to come and talk about moral courage because I've been receiving some telephone calls and some messages, and I think we need to touch on the subject of moral courage and why people who are least expected will find moral courage. And yes, we know maroon mindset is my alter ego in terms of how I see myself, because it's really about how you see yourself and not how others see you, because you might be seen as a pussycat, but really you see yourself as a tiger, and sometimes that can cause some friction for other people, not for yourself, because it's important not to be defined by how others see you. So yeah, today I'm going to call this one "Speak the Truth and Speak It Ever." And that is a saying that we heard in primary school back in Jamaica, and I'm sure it's popular everywhere, where we say, speak the truth and speak it ever, cost it what it will. For he who hides the wrong he did the wrong thing still. I'll say that again. Speak the truth and speak it ever, cost it what it will. For he who hides the wrong he did the wrong thing still. And it's important that we approach life with integrity. Whatever we're doing, we approach life with integrity, and you need to, hand on heart, be confident in and happy with the decisions that you make. So yeah, we're talking a little bit about moral courage. I just had a call from someone who I've worked with, and he was just checking in on me. He knows about my hands. He was a little disappointed when I told him that my hands are still as bad. As you know, I have erythromelalgia, which is called man on fire disease, and it affects my extremities. It affects my hands and my feet. It's neurovascular in nature, very rare. 1 in 100,000 people get it. So yeah, it's important that we're honest, and I had to be honest with him and say that my hands are still as bad as they were. So there has been no improvement, and I say that with not looking for sympathy or pity, but just to acknowledge the reality of it. And I talked in my last vlog about the lived experience, and I'm living with chronic pain. And as you know, I am a very happy, bubbly person, quiet and subdued under certain circumstances. I've lost my son, but it might come back. But in other circumstances, I am very, very bold when I need to be. So yeah, with the condition, I'm going to have to start thinking about alternative medicine, things like CBG and all of that. I'm from Jamaica, so as you know, we are pioneers in that, and now that we have the infrastructure to get that done legally, I need to explore more plant-based medicine. It's new to me, so I'm still at the research stage. So if there are any ideas or tips for people coping with chronic pain as to what herbs and things to use, just drop me a message. Remember to subscribe, share this vlog. It's important that we get as many people on board and on the empowerment and enablement train as we can. So yeah, it's so much happening at the moment. I've been getting message after message about webinars on race, on this and that. It's a bit overwhelming, and sometimes when you get to this stage, it's like you have to zone out. So we have to now think about, are we overdoing it? Are we spreading the message too thinly? Should we be working more collaboratively on the issues that we have in terms of mental health and supporting people through COVID? I think we need to be careful that we're not working in silos, and that we're not duplicating effort, and that we're not stifling innovation, where we have the same old people coming up with the ideas when we need to be doing some grounded theory work. So yeah, it's time for us to pause. Time for us to just say, hang on a minute, what's going on? What we're going to do. Everyone's situation is slightly different, and let's talk about our own journeys. Let's have more stories. Let's have more impactful personal recap of what's happened, so people can pull out the bits that are relevant to them and share it with someone who they think would benefit from that. So yeah, I think we need to start thinking more less Zoom, because we've zoomed out now. Seriously, Zoom. Yeah, we're experts on Zoom. I think now we need to be experts at listening, because on the Zoom you don't really get the chance to get into the stories. And yes, we have to be respectful of people's right to confidentiality, but we need to start sharing some powerful stories of coping, of managing, of surviving, of being happy, because we need to balance the narrative. So yeah, I think it's important that when you have moral courage, that you don't abuse the system that you're in, but at the same time that you're not stifled by the system that you're in. And as I always say, I use social media to flatten the hierarchy of access to thought leaders. And it's amazing that I have now myself become a thought leader on a subject matter or two or three. So it happens, and people will want to know, how did it happen? Give us some insight so we can replicate. But you know what? This thing called life is it's fascinating, but everyone, as I said, is running their own race. And I think some people need to learn that you don't set sail on somebody else's star, which is an African proverb. As you know, I have to use one. My life is guided by African proverbs, because I am just fascinated that so much wisdom has gone untapped and unused, so that we, as the new storytellers, because I'm a member of the Poetry Society, and I get lots of different things about writing poems for competitions, and I've not done it yet, but I like to just share, spontaneously how I'm feeling. So we need to be storytellers, and we need to really embrace and be proud of our stories, even if it's not a completely positive story. We need to tell the story, because it's the lived experience, and it's powerful, and it's truth, and it's speaking truth to power. This thing about speaking truth to power is very, very important, because by speaking truth to power, we are being empowered. We're standing, we're as a previous, as you know, I'm outside, so apologies for the interference, but I have to get some breeze, some English breeze, London breeze. It's a bit healthier than what it would have been pre-COVID. But yeah, we have to fill our boots. A previous chief exec who I worked with, called Libby McManus, she said once in a public event that we should all fill our boots. I hadn't heard the term before, and I thought, I like that. I quite like that. You're not filling anybody else's boots, you're filling your own boots. You're standing tall and standing proud and owning your position. And that is very important, and that comes with time. So when people ask me for the secret or for advice, I can give advice. I can only give suggestions, but you have to do what's right for you. And at the end of the day, a clear conscience is a soft pillow. So each person has to do what's right for them, and has to stand up for what they believe in. And we don't judge, And I know people find it hard sometimes when people say they don't judge, but the only thing I would say I judge is hypocrisy. And another thing that I do judge, because his confession is good for the soul. I don't like hypocrisy, and I don't like injustice. So if you're a hypocrite and you are a racist, then we ain't gonna get on. Period. As they say in Jamaica, point blank and period. We ain't gonna get on. Because that is the opposite of what I represent. So yeah. Someone said to me, Nicole, I watch Channel 4 News, and I knew it would have to take someone like you to speak up, and you were very eloquent and measured. And I thought I was as well, And it's important to be fair, but as I said, yesterday, the elephant in the room needs to be spoken about, and someone messaged me to say that their trust is now, I'm going to do the risk assessment. So I think, you know what, I'm happy to hear that. So yes, but I'll leave you with this saying by Malcolm X. As you know, I am a scholar of Black history. I haven't had a chance to study it up to a doctoral level, but I am passionate about sharing the wisdom. So Malcolm X said, and this resonates to my core, and if you focus on this, you'll understand what I stand for and why I'm prepared to take the knocks. I am for the truth, no matter who tells it. I am for justice, no matter who it's for or against. So I am for the truth and justice. So I will not be racist. I will not be a hypocrite. I represent truth and justice. You know, Peter Tosh said we want equal rights and justice. That's all we want. Equal rights and justice. You know? And I sign out with that. So I am for the truth, no matter who tells it, as painful as that might be. And I'm for justice, no matter who it's for or against. So until next time, you've been listening to Nicole McIntosh. As I would say to my friend, your girl Nicole McIntosh. I said I'll do it as long as I can get away with it. And it's the maroon mindset. And we hope everyone's okay. We hope we're coping well under the circumstances that we find ourselves in. So yeah, enjoy the weekend. It's a bank holiday weekend. Please don't do anything silly. You know, don't go into a crowded area. Please wear your mask. Follow the precautions. Kind of zoned out on the politics, you know, because we call it politricks. I mean, sometimes I can't be dealing with listening to leaders who are saying one thing and then doing another, or supporting one thing. The only thing I would take away from Ryanair, and I've said this before, is that Ryanair is an airline that we know, if for those who don't know, it's a no-frills airline. And they're known for basic, so you know, no frills, seriously no frills, similar to EasyJet. And the thing about Ryanair that we have to admire, whether we like the way it's managed or not, is that if you went to Ryanair and you are traveling and you're overweight, the person on the representative, the customer service representative, would say you're overweight, this is how much you'll have to pay. And then if you're like me, you'll start saying, well, I need to speak to your supervisor, and the supervisor will be brought out and they'll say, I stand by my colleague who has said rightly that it's our company policy that you're overweight, you'll have to pay. And then if you're like some people, unlike me, because by then I would have kind of backed down, some people say, I want to speak to the manager, and they'll get the most senior manager from Ryanair down, and that person will come and hear what you have to say, and guess what? They'll be saying the same thing that the supervisor and the person on the front desk had said. They'll say, you're overweight, you'll have to pay. That line of support that runs through Ryanair, that their policy is their policy and that they're going to support each other in applying the policy, whether we like it or not, because remember, there are no frills and they have to make their money somehow, which is how they make their money when you have to pay for luggage. We have to give them some respect, though, through gritted teeth, I admit, that they support each other. And I think other organizations need to learn to support their staff the way Ryanair does. Yeah? So if the person on the front desk had done something wrong, and the person who comes, the supervisor, needs to correct that. But if the person on the front desk is doing what they've been trained to do, then each layer needs to come and support that. And I think we'll have a more trusting workforce of leaders if we have alignment of goals. We talk about value-based goals. So I think we need to start looking into how we apply that And I can hear, playing devil's advocate, that someone will say, of course we do that in all our organizations, And I represent myself when I'm talking on my vlog. So before anyone asks, I am representing Nicole McIntosh. Yeah? So when I speak on my own and for myself. I represent no organization. Yeah, people come and say they that we do, but I beg to differ. And that is where we have to have leaders who have moral courage. 'Cause I started out by talking about moral courage, and the courage to speak up for what you believe in. And that's where staff need to know that they have the full support of leaders. So when we are leaders, it should be servitude, It should be that we are servant leaders who are doing this for the right reason. And we speak the truth. And we speak it ever. Cause it what it will. He who hides and does the wrong thing still. So until next time, my people, you've been listening to your girl, Nicole McIntosh. It's been a subdued, reflective, calm, serene vlog, but it touched on some very pertinent issues in the world that we're living in, that we use our voice. We've been blessed with a voice, and when you find it, you use it. Until next time, have a blessed Sunday, and I'll catch up with you hopefully next Friday for the lunchtime vlog. Peace. Hello everyone, it's Nicole McIntosh here, Let me start.